Hi Verve dancers, hope you guys are having a great time, spending time with your families and just being home and taking care of yourselves. I have my roommate and company member LeGrande here with me. He's going to be kind of like my demonstrator for these videos for the conditioning classes, because I think it's important to actually show any like small adjustments that need to be made and whatnot. So LeGrande is going to be awesome and he's going to help us with that. Maybe he can kind of introduce himself a little bit.
Hi, I'm LeGrande, or LeGrande. Take your pick, loves. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. So, I started dancing a couple years ago. I've been working with Atlas for most of that time, actually. And then I've worked with UVU, where I've started on my formal training. I've worked on their Synergy Dance Company. I participated in some intensives, ACDA and Link Through Salt. I just enjoyed, learning and growing as an artist and being able to work on, fitness and nutrition as well. So that's been something I've been currently working on, is just, becoming a better dancer and artist and collaborating with people and, finding your voice in the art community, so.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm going to post right here, when I edit these videos, I'm going to post what we're actually going to be focusing on each week for your conditioning exercises. So that'll be right here. So for our first exercises, we're going to do some TheraBand work. If you don't have a TheraBand, you can find something that's at least a little bit resisting, kind of like a rubber band, but it needs to be a little thicker. Maybe like something that has elasticity in it would be good. We're going to start with focusing specifically on our toes to show you a little bit of things that I usually like to do to kind of just get my toes nice and warm. So 1 second. So for this first exercise with our toes, we're going to lay out the TheraBand just like so, nice all the way out, and then you're going to put your toes at the very end of the TheraBand, and you're going to slowly curl up the TheraBand, not moving your foot at all, just using those toes to curl the TheraBand in. If you need to, you can like shake out. I don't know if it's because we're on carpet. Let me try again. But the goal is to not have your toes like get curled into the TheraBand. So you're really just like working those toes. LeGrande, do you want to try this? Okay, he's going to go the other little bit with his feet. Awesome. Cool. LeGrande's toes are so amazing. He didn't even have to like fix his toes. Good job, LeGrande. And then yeah, that's funny that you just did that. So our next exercise is to just kind of play with picking it up, going into a point, raising it and taking it back down, and alternating the feet when you do that. So you'll find a place to grab with your toes, point all the way through the foot, lift up, and go back down, toe, ball, heel. Okay? So you'll do that, let's say about 10 times on each foot. So it'll go here, grab with your toes, raise, back down, toe, ball, heel. So that was 1. Okay, we're gonna go 4 starch, grab with your toes, rise, toe, ball, heel. Okay, so that was 1 on that foot. So second time on this foot. Yeah. Woo. Oh, I didn't grab a lot of it. Okay, let's see. Oh, I didn't even grab it that time. There we go. Woo. Okay, LeGrande, do you want to try?
And a variation for those of you at home as well, if you do not have a TheraBand, you can use a towel or washcloth,
yes,
which makes it easier to grab and lift up.
Yep. Yep, make sure you keep that 4 starch and then you curl with your toes. Yeah. Nice. Good fix. Yeah, you can also do what LeGrande is doing, where he's focusing on the full 10 on one foot, which probably would help you also just kind of stay aware of like where you were at in your number, rather than alternating feet. So whatever you find as your preference, you can do that as well. The next exercise, this one you will need something that's more elastic because this is going to be more focused on the toes. So, hello you guys. Don't focus on my nasty toes, but we're just like gonna be in that half point, and then we're just going to go and do little beats with our toes like this, making sure we have that control. You can go however fast you want or however slow. Slower will give you that more focused attention to each little muscle in your toes that you should focus on, so that you can even get that full stretch. So we'll start with just doing maybe 15 down and ups. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 15, and then once you get to the 15, stay in point, but then just do like quick little beats like this. And let's say do 25, okay, of the quicker beats. You'll feel that a lot in your big toe, and then you'll switch to the other foot, okay? You can even find a partner for another exercise with TheraBands to like step. So here, hold on, lift your feet up. Make sure it's really tight. Yep, and then feet on it. You're going to raise your toes in a flexion motion rather than the pointed place. This will help. Your partner can even try and step a little closer too to give you even more of a hard challenge. Yep, and then it'll, oh yeah, that feels so good. You could even try it standing, and that might give you a different type of resistance for the top of your foot and those muscles that really connect to your shin. Okay, LeGrande, do you want to try this one? All right. Let's say you do 15 of these. Okay, you guys? How does that feel, LeGrande?
Not bad.
Not bad? On the form that I have at the beginning of this video, that ankles are important to strengthen in dance, right? Because we have the regular point, we have sickling, which we want to mostly avoid, but it is also good to strengthen it in some cases. But the biggest one, especially for those who are like focusing on ballet, we want to work on that bevel. I obviously don't have a big, strong one or a very obvious one, but it's when your toes kind of curl towards the outside of your midline, rather than like sickling where it curls inward. Okay, this point also, so like when you're going into sickling, that is a higher risk of like breaking your ankle or twisting ligaments that you do not want to damage or anything in your dance career. So that is why it is really important to work on knowing where your like actual balance is on your ankles, so you're not doing any weirdness like this or like that with your toes. Okay, so some ankle exercises with the TheraBand. Similar setup with the toes. You're going to still put it on your toes, but this time you're going to have that flexion and that resistance, okay? For regular point, it's basically the same as the toes, but this time you're curling all the way through the top of the ankle, through the arch of the foot, through the ball of the foot, and then your toes. And then you reverse that with nice control, nothing like jumping like that or anything, just going all the way through the foot with no little jumps or skips through the motion, okay? So I would say if this is like your first time working on this, do as many as you need until you feel the burn, or until you start to lose the full control of this exercise. So that's working on your full point, regular straight up and down. While doing this, you guys, make sure that your ankle is staying in that true point, okay? So I don't want to see any of this, okay? I don't want to see any sickling, okay? I want to see you going straight up and down. The big toe should be in line with the shin and going all the way back up, okay? So that's for the straight up and down one. For bevels, you're going to use your other foot with the TheraBand to resist from the sickle place. You're going to push the foot towards the outward point of your midline of your body. We'll say, let's have you guys do 10 or 15 of these, whatever you need to work on the strengthening of this, okay? So make sure you're in a good placement with your body and everything while you're doing this guy. Just gonna go into the bevel placement of your foot, okay? Yeah, woo! And then you'll do the other foot as well. Do ankle circles now. Okay, so here we're going to circle all the way through the foot, bringing it back up through the bevel to straighten. Okay, and then let's say you guys should do 10 of these one direction and then 10 the opposite direction, okay? There we go. So that's for our ankle strengthening, okay? For arches, like you could even do something like this where you're like really giving your foot a resistance on the top of your foot, so you're really helping get that flexibility in the arch. So what that would look like is you got to make sure you're not sickling your foot, right? And just letting that toe and the top of your ankle just really stretching, okay? We'll hold that for maybe like 30 seconds. And then yeah, if you ever start to get like exhausted with that point, just make sure you're not going into the sickled position, okay? Okay, so that was about 30 seconds, okay? So just from that, I'm able to like touch my feet, my toes to the floor, keeping my leg completely straight. So that exercise will really help you get that flexibility in your arch. I think that's really it for the TheraBand exercises. Now we're working on calf raises, calf exercises, okay? So we're gonna do 25 regular calf raises, and then we'll go into more difficult things. So if you have a chair, LeGrande, you can do this with me if you'd like. If you have a chair, you're going to place it in front of you. Oh, I broke the chair. Okay, you can either choose to have it on the side of you, so you can just have one hand focused on the chair, or you can put it in front of you so you can put both hands on the chair, okay? Making sure you're in that true parallel placement. We're going to slowly rise up through our ankles, up to the balls of our feet. No further, because we are not in point shoes, okay? You could also risk breaking toes that way. So we just want to make sure our toes are nice and lengthened here and just staying on the balls of our feet. And again, not finding that sickle position, right? We want to stay in that true alignment, keeping our ankles in line with our shin bones and everything else, okay? And then we'll lower. So we'll do 25 of these, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the chair here is really just here to make sure that you have your balance, okay? So I'm not putting a whole lot of weight on, obviously. I think you can see my fingers, I don't know. I only have like one little finger on here, just so you guys can see what the chair is for, which is just to balance, okay? I think that was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. For these last 5, make sure you're really fully lengthening through those hip flexors and really finding the length in your legs while also keeping that tailbone nice and straight and down towards the floor, okay? And I think that was 5. All right, awesome. Okay, now we're gonna do 25 in first position, okay? With these ones, yeah, you can change however you want with the chair. For these ones, I'll just keep the chair here so you guys can really see what I'm doing here. Okay, I might also grab the camera and focus more on LeGrande because there is a tendency to go more in the sickle in a first position because of weight distribution. Okay, so make sure as you releve, you're really actually kind of thinking of your legs almost in a straw. Okay, they're being sucked up through a straw. So that means that your calves and your knees and your adductors are really involved with this. So you're thinking of engaging and like pressing through your legs to rise to the top of that releve. Okay, yeah. And then if your weight should be more in the front of the ball of your feet rather than towards the back of the ball of the feet. So more on the big toe and the second toe and the third toe rather than on the back toes, okay? Because that's where it gets risky. So I'll come to the side. I'll move to the side so you can see this. So I'm really relevating, and I should have this nice straight line, okay? If I'm too forward, you'll be able to notice that. And if I'm too far back, there is a sign of weakness there in your tendons and your ankles, which is what the TheraBand exercises are for. So if you're adding on to your exercises, it should be good. Okay, so let's do 25 in first position. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, woohoo, 4, 5, 6. You can practice some balances here too. 7, 8. I feel it in my butt also because I'm really using that rotation in my legs. Okay, this will work your legs as well as your calves. So this in first position is a really good exercise for your full leg, especially if you're doing it all the way through that straw analogy that I use, that imagery. Whew, was that 10? 11? I don't know what I was
Close
at.
enough.
13. 14. 15. Woo! 16. Making sure that every time you go on releve, it's at the highest point of your releve. Not giving up or not like compensating anywhere, okay? Really committing to that full releve. I think this is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we are going to do some alternations now with our feet, and then we're going to add it with a plie, and then we're going to do a quick baby releve exercise. So here we go. LeGrande, are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, and we'll do this both in first position and parallel. We'll start with first position, or parallel. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to add a plie. So we're going to go plie at the bottom and rise back up. Plie at the bottom, rise back up. 8 on each foot. Okay. 4. 5. Making sure those hips stay nice and up and down. Okay, I think that was 6. Again, thinking of what we talked about in the regular releves too with those ankles. Okay. Good. I think this is 8. Good. Okay. Now with that being done, we'll move into first position and we'll do it again. Okay. So we're going to go 8 regular with no plie. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keeping those ribs down. 8. Good job. Now we're going to add the plie. 1, 2, 3. Really feeling that stretch through the adductor muscles and the back of the leg. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Okay. Now, this is going to be fun. We're going to do 50 quick babies. So, from the side, it's just like little bounces with your feet, okay? You're going to start to feel a burn after a while, okay? So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. If that wasn't enough for you, you guys can keep going until you feel the burn. Okay? For me, I'm probably going to end up having to do 100 because I have very strong calves. But you do whatever you guys need to do, okay? Woo! Okay, so that's a good demonstration. And then we'll do that in first position as well, okay? So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really squeezing those butts and those hamstrings. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Now we're going to go into a releve passe exercise where we're just going to go onto our releve, making sure that alignment that we've been working on in the ankle is there. You can practice taking your hand off of the chair, but the chair is there if you need it, okay? Or the table, or the couch armrest, okay? Woo! All right, you can hold that for about a minute or 30 seconds, whatever you need to like feel the burn in your calf, okay? So now we'll do the other foot, okay? Woo, here we go. And find your balance. Good. So where should the pelvis be, right? Are you tucking? Are you alternating where your pelvis should be? It should be nice and straight up and down. Thinking of the lengthening of the hip flexor in that stabilizing leg, okay? And where are your ribs? Make sure your ribs are in alignment, okay? This is hard on carpet. Woo! All right, and come down. Now give your ankles a little nice stretch, or give them a massage, whatever you guys need to do here, okay? You guys are doing awesome. Keep it up. Keep up the hard work. All right, so now we are working on our balancing skills using our core strength and our legs that we've been working on. Okay, so first we're going to start with our bird dips. You guys might have read that on the little form that I have written out at the beginning of this video. Like, what is that, right? So LeGrande and I are going to demonstrate that. So here we go. So I have the chair. It's going to be kind of in front of me, body-wise, and then let's see. And then I'm going to have one foot up like this, and my hand up here. If you want to really challenge yourself, you can actually grab that foot and have the other arm in the air, and then you're going to dip down, tap one finger on the floor, and come back up. And we're going to do 10 of these on each leg. It is okay if your ankle wobbles because that is what the ankle is naturally supposed to do, so you can continue to maintain your balance, right? But the goal is, as you continue to work on this exercise and condition, you won't have those little wobbles anymore, okay? I think that was 4. Another thing to think about is thinking of dipping the arm at the same rate as your pelvis is tipping forward through the rotation of the pelvis, okay? The mobility of the pelvis, I should say, because we're not necessarily in rotation. We're more so using the hinge part of our ball joint in our hip socket. Okay? 7, 8. Woo, 9. You'll start to feel a burn in your calf for sure. And 10. Woo. So now we're going to work on our abdominal strength, and that's going to deal with crunches and some other fun things that we have planned. So right now we're going to do 25 regular crunches, okay? So with crunches, we want to make sure that our feet are in alignment with our sits bones and that our core is nice and sucked up and engaged here. Almost like if someone were to punch you, you know that like natural reaction you get when someone's about to like punch your gut? It's like, oh, that's what you want to feel in your gut for it to be actually engaged the way it should be. Okay, the lower back will kind of have a slight little place where your hand can fit, but nothing too extreme, okay? Nothing crazy like this, okay? It should just be a natural curve of the spine, okay? Your hands should be behind your ears like so, and then you're going to slowly rise the scapulae off of the floor, engaging that core like we had just talked about, okay? We're going to do 25 regular, okay? So you should stay focusing on the ceiling and the scapulae come off the floor, okay? So that was 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, when you do crunches, you should be able to talk normal. Yeah? If you can't, you're doing something a little too wrong and you're not actually breathing. So make sure you're breathing. I think that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Side notes with that. The exhale should happen when you're going up, and the inhale happens when you're coming back down. Okay, so out through the mouth, in through the nose. Okay, good job, guys. Next one, we're going to do elbow to knee. So that means that the opposite side, I'll do it on this side so it's easier to see on the film. Okay, that means that this side of the body scapula is the only one coming off, and more weight ends up in the opposite side of the body, and you're really getting a nice spiral in your core, okay? We'll alternate these from side to side, and we'll do 25 on each side, okay? So a total of 50. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can also extend the arm here. 13, 14, 15. If you have siblings, you can give them high fives on each side of your body, okay? So you can feel that workout really happening, okay? I think that's 18.
22.
22?
23.
Oh, thank you. 26, 27, 28, 29, woo, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, keeping that head in line with your spine, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, woo, 49, 50, woo! Okay, the next one that we have, this one's gonna be so fun. I love it. But we're going to stay up here in that crunch position, and our arms are going to beat like this, and we're going to count quickly, and we're going to do 50 of them, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Yeah? Awesome. Okay, and then we'll go into an exercise that I learned from one of my college faculty members. Her name is Jill Edwards. I don't know if she's come in to teach any classes for LeGrande or anything, but she was there when I was going to school. And this exercise is awesome. I kind of call it the samurai because it's like you have a sword with your arms, okay? So we're going to be here, nice and aligned with our spine here, okay? We're going to bring the leg up as we slice, and then we go here. We're going to fully come down, keeping that leg in parallel while we circle the body until we have to come back up. Lift the leg, the arm goes back behind the head, and the opposite leg lifts up. And then we do it again, going the opposite direction, okay? Keeping that nice length in the hip flexor area and in the abs, okay? And spine. And you can do 10 of these. Okay, so 5 on each side. So that was 2. 3. 4. 5. Keeping it long, keeping the eyes following the hands. And last one on the opposite foot. Ooh, 5, 5, 5. And here we go. We rise up and stretch over the legs if you need to, just to get some of that, the burn away out of your spine, out of your abdomens. Okay, and then everyone, I think you guys are pretty familiar with the bicycles. If you're not, this is what we're going to do now. We're going to do 25 on each side, alternating which foot our elbows touch, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Engaging that core like someone's punching you constantly. 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, okay. And then we'll stretch in a little mermaid stretch here. Oh, this is good. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Thank you, LeGrande, for filming me on these core exercises. Okay, we still have some core strength to do. This time we're going to focus on how our legs can actually help us utilize our core strength. So, here we go. We're going to have our legs up in the air, and we're going to slowly dip our legs down, like so. Not letting the back do anything weird again, okay? Keeping those ribs down, keeping that core engaged. If you start to feel like, oh, that's too much, go to where you need to go with where your feet lengthen out to go, okay? So right now, I can go here because I've built up that core strength, but you guys might be here. So don't feel bad about that, okay? Just go to where you need to go. We're gonna do 10 to 15 down and ups. So that's 1, 2, trying not to engage the hip flexors and just focusing on your psoas and your core muscles, your rectus abdominals, and all of those muscles, okay? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Nice. Okay, so you can take a rest there for a minute, just kind of relax those muscles that just started working. And now we're going to do little scissor beats while doing that. I'm going to only do 10 of these. And if you guys need to do like 5 or anything, depending on where you're at with your core strength, you can do so, okay? So these ones are called scissor beats, up and down. At least that's what I learned them as. They might be called something else. But you're going to cross the legs, and as you go down, you're scissoring your legs and like switching which foot is in front. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! 2 more. 9 and 10. Woo! All right, so our next leg exercise to engage our cores requires a partner. So you can ask your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, whoever you are like socially close to, as long as they're healthy and they're not sick, because of what we are home for is the coronavirus. We don't want to get sick, right? So make sure that whoever's helping you uses hand sanitizer, they wash their hands and everything, just so we can avoid everyone getting sick, okay? So this exercise is really fun. So grab your partner, LeGrande. I'm gonna have you lay on the floor just because I just did a lot of ab work, okay? So he's gonna lay kind of how I was. He's gonna lift his legs up, and your buddy's going to be here, wherever they need to like place themselves, and they're gonna try and push your legs down, but your goal is to not let them push your legs, okay? So you have to try and keep them where they're at, and they'll try it and go different directions with this, okay? So this is really engaging those core muscles while they're like trying their hardest to just push you and your legs down, okay? Do you feel that, LeGrande?
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Okay, and I would say go with this for like about 50 seconds to a minute, okay? I almost said 50 minutes. That would be a long time. You guys would be dead. And your partner would probably win after like 40 seconds. Just kidding. Oh, keep it up, LeGrande. Engage those core muscles. You got this, you got this. Yeah. Woo! Woo! Whoa, that's different. All right, good. We have one more core strengthening exercise. This one is to help with your oblique muscles, the muscles that are on the sides. So your hands are gonna be here. You're gonna be out in a relaxed straddle, okay? You can also play with working on your rotation here, okay? Making sure you're nice and long in that spine again, right? Okay, and you're going to go side to side, okay? If you want, you can just follow along with me on this until I feel the burn, okay? Because I'm gonna probably change how my arms are, okay? So we're just gonna go side to side, keeping the length going all the way through our head and through our spine, okay? Keeping those sits bones on the floor at all times, all right? Okay, so we're going to just stay at a normal pace like this, and then we're going to kind of also play with where our arms can go to make that a little more difficult if you need, okay? But if that's already difficult for you, you can switch back to this regular crunch position with your arms, okay? And you'll do about 50 of these, okay? Here we go. You guys are doing awesome. Keep it up. Something I like to think about when I do this exercise is my favorite candy bar and my favorite ice cream, because it just makes me stay happy. And you might not feel anything from this, which is okay, but I promise you, if you do this exercise correctly, you'll feel it tomorrow for sure. Oh, I think I did this once or twice with LeGrande before when we were exercising together. Okay, you can also do double time where you do it on 2 times on each side before switching to the opposite side, okay? Making sure you're keeping that body open, okay? Not closing off or anything like this, okay? Good job, guys. If you have any questions on these exercises, you can either send things to Matika to ask me specifically. If you want me to look at any videos that you record of yourself doing these exercises, that would be cool too.